Unblinded Huddle, the #1 place to start your day with a daily dose of integrity-based human influence. My name's Fernando, and today is Ecosystem Merging, Mastery, or Magical Monday, whatever it is for you. And as we step into yet another exciting week of acceleration here together, what's on your heart and mind? What's present for you? What are you thinking about this morning? How'd your morning start? Where is your mind? More importantly, where's your heart? Where are you? What are you thinking about? Drop it in the chat. Are you thinking about today? Are you thinking about the weekend? Are you thinking about, what you're going to be accomplishing this week? Where's your heart? What are you thinking about? What's present for you? Every single morning, we have an opportunity to step in here together and anchor our day. Thank you, to everyone that's been part of our movement, all our leaders, everyone that was on the mastery call at 8 a.m. this morning. And thank you to everyone that's new. And if this is your first time, welcome, because you're in for a treat. We're going to be bringing up Joe Hagan. So team, if we can please bring up Joe Hagan, as he's going to be sharing some of his thoughts on his leadership on the huddle when Mr. Callaghy jumps in and joins us. So let's get Joe Hagan ready. For you out there, how are you gearing? How are you starting? What is your energy on this Ecosystem Merger Mastery Monday? Every single day is a different point of energy. Every single day on this call, we have a slew of different topics that we talk about, all through the prism of what we call integrity-based human influence, a beautiful 3-part formula made of self-mastery, influence mastery, and process mastery. So for you, because we're here together rising in our mastery, that's what we're doing. We're doing many things, and we're also rising in our mastery of ourselves, of our world, of our workplaces, of our relationships with our family, of every single area. What is that area for you? Where are you focusing on your mastery? Where is your heart right now? And where is your mind right now as you rise? So what area is that for you? Drop it in the chat, and let's begin to share what we're focusing on, because this is not only a place for you to receive information, it's a place for you to anchor with your team. This is locker room football, together, huddled, moving, supporting, giving each other buckets of energy. That's what this is for. And if you see someone in the chat type something that you believe you can support with, that's an opportunity for you to step into your contribution, to step into your leadership, and begin to give, to share, all those beautiful emotions. So I hear a rustle in the distance. Mr. Callaghy, I believe that is you. We also have Joe Hagan geared up and ready. So as we give you a few moments to turn on your camera and gear up, what's present on your heart and mind, Sean, and then take us off as we start yet another week on the Unblinded Huddle. Call Nicole on speaker. While Nicole gets on speaker, everyone, let's get together in the chat. Let's continue to type up what we're present to here. Ecosystem Merging Mastery Mondays. I see some beautiful things in the chat. I'm going to take a second just to read a few. Let's see. Michelle Wilson woke up this morning thinking that today is a gift. We have Susan Hum, boom, Ruth, and you are a leader, babe. Antonio saying good morning to mental health. We have Patricia adding more and more value by sharing information I've received through training. And that is just 3 of many beautiful conversations that are happening in the chat. So Sean, what say you and what's cooking?
Yeah. Hey, thank you for that, Susan. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you all. Awesome job. Happy Ecosystem Merger and Mastery Monday. Back on the East Coast, feeling great. I want to make a particularly special acknowledgement to Lorelei, to Craig Klingman for coming out and having beautiful and amazing conversations, and Lorelei creating a wonderful meeting, ecosystem merger, budding and brewing. And I would be remiss if I didn't share something fun, cool, and powerful, which Lorelei created, which is Michael Burnett and I want to make sure I'm fact checking this accurately, Fernando. Is it correct? Can you go on Facebook? I don't want to say something inaccurate. So let's talk to, let's check on that with Lorelei while I'm talking to the illustrious JH. Is he here?
Yeah, he is here and ready to rock. And
check out exactly what that was in that post, because I want to make sure I say it accurately. And I want to.
It's right here. I'm showing it on the screen. We have Michael Burnett, who shared Lorelei Mariano's live of the Unblinded Real Raw episode 131.
All right. And so Michael Burnett is the founder, owner of Success Resources, which is the most powerful personal development stage and platform in the world. Um, and they are a giant international company. They put on Tony Robbins events internationally. Tony puts on his own events in the US, and they have stages and microphones all over the globe. And every name speaker in the world of personal and professional development is on those stages. And so Michael Burnett, put that up, which is extraordinary. So extraordinary. Fernando, what say you about that?
I am not confused. And as Adam Gugino loves to say, it is once again, for real this time, I believe, the beginning of the beginning.
Yeah. And well, I think it's for real, each stage, when you throw 1,500 people in a room, when you launch a program that has as many people come forward into it as this in January and February, then we create the real raw. Then we build the elite program. We have LBI. Now we have what just happened with Michael Burnett. And that again is representative. I came up with a list yesterday of ecosystem merger conversations that are real and need to be finalized, and the number was eclipsing 30 right now. So this was on the plane coming home last night, and organizing the structures around that, and tiers of leadership. Leadership is being caused here. And speaking of leadership being caused here, illustrious Joe Hagan, are you there, sir?
I am. Good morning.
Good morning. So I want to thank you and acknowledge you, Joe. I've acknowledged Siobhan from the week before last, and you have done a wonderful job coming on, and I've gotten great feedback from many different sources of what's occurring on those 8 a.m. Mastery huddles. How has that felt for you so far? Like, how are you enjoying that?
Selfishly, awesome. In contribution, even better, because I have received a lot of texts on, and just getting off the call onto this one, Ken and a few others, made some nice comments. And just scroll 6 today, Sean. Like Brian Reppel did a great job, and so did Erica, reading them. And it's like when I read Og's language, and then you think about getting into the formula, it's a lot easier. Like today is a battle. It's a battle. And I'm not going to let the forces, who are we going to battle? The forces of sadness, self-pity, and failure. And I'm not going to get captured by those. And so what do? I master my emotions. Just like every day when I read that and listen to other people read it, it just accelerates your day and stays in your nervous system. And from doing that, it has helped me drop into a place of like superior acceleration all over again.
Awesome, brother. So, Joe, who are you? And then we'll get into how you got into the scrolls, but like who in, the 30 to 60 second version, let's go 30-second version, Brewer style, Brewer open style. Who's Joe Hagan? Like, what are you up to in the world?
Wow, you ain't kidding. You just dropped this stuff on people without warning, right?
Yeah.
I would have worn more than my t-shirt than,
Well, I got
So
the Shark Rescue hat on, Joe. So we're all good.
there you go. So who am I? I am a proud father of 5 children and husband. And I, as everyone who listens to the pre-huddles knows, that I spent a career as something that's a dinosaur now, as far as a retail stockbroker in the world of business. I literally coached hundreds of financial advisors and brokers on Wall Street. Every morning we started with the scroll, and I had a boardroom of dozens of brokers and advisors, and that helped me accelerate to a good level where I could provide a very good living, for my family. And to this day, that's where I stay, providing for my family and living the dream.
No, that's awesome, brother. And just for an interesting footnote, the plane coming back last night had a bunch of movies that were older, and I threw on Wall Street. So I was listening to Wall Street as I was doing some things, and I was thinking about you and Rob Gill back in the day on Wall Street, and Gordon Gekko, and thinking how odd, it is that movies like Glenn Ross Wall Street, Wolf of Wall Street, Boiler Room, sort of in the same way that Goodfellas like kind of strikes this kind of romantic chord with folks that are in business, that are making things happen in life. And I was simultaneously thinking how horrifically it ends for Gordon Gekko, how horrifically it ends for like Jordan Belfort, and how different that is than the scrolls and integrity-based human influence. And so I was present to gratitude as I was watching this, thinking how many people confuse themselves with the notion that you had to take as opposed to give to make beautiful things happen. Gordon Gekko talks about like business being a zero-sum game, right? Like a zero-sum game where, it's somebody wins and somebody loses, somebody gets and somebody money just moves around and we take it from each other. And it was like hurting my heart to think that somebody wasn't seeing it, that we're creating more value, we're expanding things, right? And that's what truly the economy is, truly capitalism is, and what we're doing here. So I was feeling immense gratitude and having just a lot of different thoughts and emotions, including thinking of my gratitude for Rob Gill for introducing us, Joe. And I remember the first night we met and all the cool things that you've done and been up to in life, with alternative investing and training of people and coaching people on Wall Street. And so I was very, very grateful and had a lot of thoughts. So thank you, Rob. Thank you, Joe, for this leadership as well. Now let's turn to the scrolls. How did you come? Because that was a way we connected when we first met, is that we're both familiar with Og Mandino's incredible work and the scrolls. How did you become introduced to the work of Og Mandino and the scrolls?
I was lucky. One of my first mentors on Wall Street just handed me the book and said, if you want to make it in this business, this is your sales Bible. And I looked at him and he looked me in the eyes, and it was real. It was real attention. And he goes, do everything it says and you'll make it. And that's all I needed. And now I would commute from the top of the Bronx all the way down to the bottom of Wall Street. It was an hour and a half train ride. And there's a lot of challenges just in the commute alone.
Yeah.
So it began helping me get through the commute, and it just accelerated with everything.
Especially, Joe, especially at those times. I mean, you're talking back in the 80s, I presume, or no?
Easy, Tag. I'm not that old. No. I graduated in 1989, and 1990, 91.
1991. Okay, so lady. I was thinking lady. Okay, so I was off by a couple. I was 74, Joe. So 90s, and it was a crazy time. That's when I was at Columbia. It's when I worked for a year at Bankers Trust. And New York City was a dangerous, crazy place, especially in the subways. So I can't even imagine the toll that would have taken emotionally every day. Like an hour and a half seeing suffering, pain, upset, anger, frustration, cries for help all over the place, amazing amounts of filth, garbage, up. And that's what you're driving through to get to work. Yes?
No, I got on the train, and I got to tell you, man, the homeless people on the train gave me sales lines, and from reading Og Mandino, I started like really embracing and giving away coffee and bagels and stuff. Yo, you can dig deep and still be cheap. Like these guys would come up with lines where I would never in my wildest dreams thinking forking over a dime, because I'm a hard New Yorker, but now I'm giving them $1 on the way off. I don't want to do it in engaged conversation. Right. And even though it wasn't COVID, I also don't want to like touch like where they've been. But on the way off the train, I'd give them $1, say, good job, have a great day. And that was Og Mandino. But
in that time when I was commuting, I would get at Port Authority, and I had at least a 1.5 mile walk. I like to GPS it from Port Authority, which was 40th and 8th, to walk to 48th and Park. So that was my walk. So it was like 8 blocks up and like, meaningfully across, the island of Manhattan. And as I would walk across, it was violent. It was aggressive. It was angry. There was groups meeting, and they were angry groups,
Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah. It was pornography everywhere, man. XXX peep shows, all up like 42nd Street, and like maybe 6 years later, I'll go 8 years later, I was walking my kids down that street with the Disney store, and it was magical. But when I was walking that street, across, working wise, it was filthy, low vibration. I mean, horrifically low vibration everywhere. It was crazy. So I honor that, your ability to see that, and to have powered your way through it. And for all of us, in this ecosystem merger Monday, I'm gonna say, Joe, final, thank you. And final after that is scroll 6 to me, which is about mastering your emotions. I have been saying for quite a while, innovated to today. I will be master of my emotions, my states, my confronts, my truths, my stories, and my boundaries. Today, I will be master of my emotions, my states, my confronts, my truths, my stories, and my boundaries. And I say that twice in the morning, twice at night, along with the 10 other headlines of the scrolls. And I know that you're reading the entire scroll. I'll do the headlines for each scroll twice in the morning, twice at night. And the difference in how I feel to start the day and end the day is extraordinary when I don't keep consistent with that. And so thank you, Joe, for bringing that here. And thank you for your leadership on this ecosystem merger and mastery Monday.
Thank you for having me and allowing me to do that. It feels good, and if I could help people, it feels even better. But yeah, let's make it happen. Today's a wonderful day.
All right, thank you, brother, and thank you for getting things going in a great way. Appreciate you. So, yeah. All right. So as we prepare to take it home for today, what is wildly present for me is the power of simple, fun, and magical micro distinctions and frictionlessness that free exponential abundance or money, time, magic, and the danger of deletion, dilution, and distortion. They're like the polar opposites: deletion, dilution, distortion being the negative vibration, simple, fun, and magical micro distinctions and friction, the free exponential abundance being the positive vibration. But the math of it. So this weekend, I just was analyzing how Unblinded could easily be a $200,000 a year company, or how Unblinded could be a $200 million a year company. And I was, and over the next 18 months, and I was looking at each of the levers, and to be a $200 million company wouldn't take a lot. Like that, like just like let that land. It wouldn't take a lot. And it would just take about the 10 different levers, making sure they grow in a consistent way with intention and added value and integrity. And how easy it would also be to have the company not exist anymore and to have not succeeded. And that's the same way for everything that you dream about, for everything that you want in your life. That's point one, is these small distinctions, the math of it, like heart and math, like heart and math. Number one. Number two is, where are you with your platform? So the Real Raw Open is an accelerant and a filter for you, an accelerant and a filter. And where are you with your platform? Because it's designed to get the Real Raw Open is to help you filter ecosystem mergers and accelerate them, as well as some potential clients, and then having your platform where you're speaking. So where are you with your platform? Pick a date. And again, it's not a Facebook Live is not your platform. It's partnering with ecosystem partners to generate an intentional audience. That's what you're creating. So with that, I launch you into ecosystem merger and mastery Monday. Being present to leadership, you causing leadership. Joe is an example of causing leadership. Number one, and thank you, Erica. Thank you, Brian, for being there this morning and supporting and causing leadership as well. And in addition, where are you in terms of deletion, dilution, distortion versus simple, fun, and magical, and your mastery of the formula and your implementation of and influence, process, and self-mastery? And finally, where are you with launching your platform, the launching of your platform? Because that's your speaking engagement that leads to sales meetings and sales measurably. Fernando, final. Actually, let me see. Adam Gugino, you out there, brother? Anything to add, AG, on this Monday? And then we'll go to final Fernando.
Yeah, I just want to add, Joe. Bringing that energy to the morning huddle has been incredible. You know, uh, when I think back on my realization of a lot of what we talked about, it was Zig Ziglar and adding ethical sales to what we're doing, and the clarity, Sean, of what else is out there, the noise that's out there around selling and closing compared to integrity-based influence and what we're bringing here, and what Joe brought every morning this week is just incredible, and I'm looking forward to bringing it to the world, which is
Yeah.
what's happening.
And I just want to anchor on this, which point I didn't make, is what's actually happening here, because there is a reason that I met Michael Burnett at Tony Robbins' birthday, and it took a little bit, and now and that was thanks to Lorelei, and now he's posting what he just posted. And when I am sitting down and have an hour to communicate with people about what this is, no matter where they are and what they've done, because the meeting that Lorelei created this weekend is with somebody who's done just extraordinary things. He consulted, and I don't want to name drop here. I'm not going to with his name until something is more formalized. But this gentleman consulted with Bain Consulting. Like, he was a consultant. Bain Consulting hired him to consult. Like, they consulted. He wasn't a consultant for Bain Consulting. It wasn't one of their consultants. Like, he's somebody that Bain hired to consult with. Joe said, wow. Joe, fill in the wow. Why you said that?
Bain Capital, you're not going to hierarchical, all that stuff. They are at the top of the food chain. And, I think their ability to make a profit and create wealth was politically center stage when Mitt Romney was running for president. They just know how to create wealth. They're enormous. If Bain Capital is behind something and you care about your checkbook, you want to be in line.
Yeah. And so a person that they hired as a consultant texted me last night, I am all in. I am all in.
Wow.
Right. And that's a person that drove 3.5 hours to meet and came and stayed in San Diego over the course of the weekend. So when you're challenged and struggling with explaining what something is, it's okay. It's just an influence mastery dynamic. But don't get confused and think that what's happening here isn't mind-blowing. Because when it's explained at a high level of mastery, the person sitting across the table is blown away and just wants in at the highest levels of success. And I just want that to be like present. We had the Orange County, thank you, Michelle. We had the president of the Orange County Bar Association on, and my level 5 listening was like blown away by what's happening here. And everybody may have a distinction and think, okay, we could do something a little differently, but at the core, nobody is confused when they are present to, and it's explained at the highest level of influence mastery, what is happening here. Top 100, Nita, thank you. Top 100 national criminal defense attorney. I'll come back anytime. Have me on. Craig Klingman, thank you. Gentleman on who wants to be the largest regional insolvency firm in the West. And it's like, listen, I just want to work with you and talk to you and, go over things, Sean. Like, I'll be back anytime. And these are the kinds of folks that are saying yes. And I would say this, if you're not getting a yes from your friend, and another question would be, are they the right person? Because that's not even happening much anymore. I'm just giving you this. Are you talking to the right person? And maybe they don't want more money and less time with more magic. Or maybe, quite frankly, they just don't have the business acumen, the experience, and the awareness to even get it, what's happening. Or it might be an influence mastery dynamic, right? So this is where we are. This is where we're headed. And we've all created this. So thank you. Fernando, final.
Final. I am in joy and gratitude for the lovely leadership that is growing here. Joe Hagan, Mr. Illustrious, you bring a smile to my face as you're such a great example of humanity. For like a quick snapshot, Wall Street looking like a tough guy, deep voice, like you could like walk away with a perception of Joe Hagan, and yet he's loving and he's a father and he loves people and he listens. deeply and he cares about people. And if you took a snapshot of just Adam on like the Huddle this morning, he looks like he's angry all the time, but he's not. He's fun and he plays pickleball and he wears sweatbands. And it's just incredible, you know, how like human beings, you know, take their own influence, their own self-mastery conversations, their own influence mastery conversations, and create these things. And now we have a formula. And one thing I wanted to anchor on, as Sean was talking about platform, it's a platform you own. You don't own Instagram. You don't own Facebook. You don't own your website, technically. GoDaddy or wherever your domain is could like shut it down. Yep. But your platform that you own, that's power. That's Integra's power. And that's real influence. Take us home.
Amen. Listen, it's Mastery Monday. That was a lot. Distill it down to this. Follow the formula. Build your real raw open into your platform, right? And then you have all the ecosystem capital you need to have the money, time, and magic you want and scale from there. Have a beautiful day. Love you guys.